Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a look here at XRP, helping you understand the best practice and big picture. And we're going to take a look at some new Fibonacci retracement levels and kind of just get perspective on what's going to happen next. It does look like it's broken its descending type of trend. So in that sense, we'll take a look at that and just identify as well, Bitcoin dominance is actually fairly low right now. It's kind of drawing dead. So to see XRP doing well is a nice thing. Okay, so again, it's taking a lot of that market capitalization, same with Terra Classic, out of the market and effectively increasing the altcoin dominance essentially, but it's not really all that dominant at this point. Still something to note. There's also a few resistance levels we want to identify as well. So if you're new to the channel, just know I'm not a financial advisor. Love teaching people to trade. You can hopefully learn a heck of a lot more with my community. CryptoCash.tech is a site linked down below where you can join, become a member there, and essentially help just be self-sufficient. I've been doing this for 17, almost 18 years now, and we've got a lot of traders in the community as well, doing fantastic and really just starting to fine-tune how well they are, and we all kind of band together and learn off of each other as well. So super cool experience. You want to be part of that. I send out signals as well. We took some profits late last week. It opened some signals for the weekend. We also have an affiliation with Bitget where we have a $10,000 prize pool monthly, so you can be eligible for that by just using the link in the description below. Profit loss ratio and trading volume. It's really simple to qualify, honestly. Just have what I think is $250 in your leverage account or higher. If you are using leverage in the United States, you will need a virtual private network, VPN. Thankfully, I partnered with my favorite exchange, or correction, I am partnered with a favorite exchange, Bitget. But in order to use them, of course, you will need ExpressVPN here, which is my favorite VPN. And I've been using them for a long time. They give you an extra 3 months with a 12-month plan. So be sure to check that out in your time. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw out some new Fibonacci retracement levels. Kind of go from there. Okay. And again, as per usual, you're going to use the most recent high to the most recent low and kind of see where we're at here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pull this out just a little bit further. But generally speaking, we took the most recent high to the most recent low. This gives us the most appropriate perspective on the immediate time frame. In other words, in the last 2 weeks roughly, we get the the big picture on what's going to go in what direction. Okay. So first thing to identify, pretty easy, and I kind of touched on this earlier, we have the 20-day SIP moving average working as a tentative resistance. Okay, now the 20-day SMA is very normal working itself along trend lines. Okay, so that we can tell us if we break through this, we should be in a much better situation where the trend line will continue higher. Until we break through that, we can kind of expect this 0.5 on Fibonacci at what, 36.5 cents as a potential resistance level. Okay, so this is likely a resistance right here. Okay. So taking a look at that, that kind of gives us perspective that we have somewhat of a resistance level. We want to also kind of look at overextension on the shorter time frames, but we can see that similar overextension on the 50 and the RSI here. So you see how this is working as potential resistance. It'll probably hold in place until that 20-day SMA is broken. Okay, but good news is we have a convergence on the MACD kind of telling us we have this momentum to the upside, and we're essentially looking positive in that regard too. Okay, so for the most part, we've got a lot of green lights here, for lack of better terms, but we're still not above that resistance. A closure above 36.5 cents, just say 37 or higher, would be advantageous. Also bear in mind too, we have the 20-day and the 50-day simple moving averages working concurrent with each other. Okay, those are both going to be resistances for the immediate future, so we want to kind of expect those to hold in place where the price action might have a little difficulty before it can break through that. So what could very well happen is we could see some range-bound activity between these two levels, 0.382 and 0.618 on Fibonacci. Those are common retracement areas. And once we break through that, we'll be having a whole other conversation. Okay, so again, for the most part right now, that's where we're at. Looking at the 4 hour, we can kind of see we've got a bit of an overextension, but it's probably more so an RSI overextension. You can see we broke through 70 here, which can be positive in a lot of cases, but for right now, I think it's something that we want to kind of be mindful of the fact that we have a resistance level here, and of course, a resistance level here. So if the price goes sideways for some time, we can expect it to continue higher. If it goes down from here, of course, we can probably anticipate it bouncing off 35 and 35.7 cents and or just a little bit below the most recent high, which is right here at about 35.5 cents. Okay, so for lack of better terms, we have a nice little support range here between 35.5 and 36.5, and essentially at this point, we can kind of see that the price action might actually hold itself in place, but it's hard to say, honestly. Let's take a look at T sequential though. We can see we're about 5 4-hour candles, basically 20 hours in to this continuation. So what that really just tells us is that we're halfway through this progression. We could literally see a lot more upside, but the probability is lower based on being overextended. that makes any sense. Okay, so we're not completely overextended, we're just halfway, but it still feels like it might pull back or stay where it's at for a little while. Here's the reason why I think that. If you take a look at TD sequential, you can see that we are hitting almost a second 9 in a row. So obviously we had a pretty big overextension to the downside for XRP recently, right? So going into the holiday, we saw the price come down, and then right here, midday yesterday, right during Christmas, we're all having lunch or dinner with your family. Right there, the price hit its lowest point. It was overextended. Okay, so we hit a 9 plus 4 hours. We come up to another 9, consolidate for 4 hours, and then leg up. So this is a healthy continuation. However, we're at a 7 right now, so we should expect only 2 more hours of continuation before a pullback. So I'm not saying to necessarily you should short right now, but hypothetically, a short would maybe make a little more sense than a long, as long as you have tight profit targets. Again, different strokes for different folks. Let's take a look at Ichimoku Cloud though too, because this is probably going to give us all green lights, and Terra Classic is also telling us the same thing, where we want to leave our position open if you have a long position open, because we have so much room here that even though, yes, it is overextended, it'll probably pull back a little bit. If you have a long position, you'd probably be better off holding it until this lagging span intersects with the price action or the conversion line is inevitably below the baseline. One of those two things will happen in the relative near future. Key is though, we're above both the upper and lower lead on the cloud, and that's a very positive sign. Okay, so all in all, for the most part, we can extract that majority of the time frames we are looking fairly consistent, but we are fairly overextended on the shorter time frames. So in other words, we're almost hit 2 9s on the hourly, and we're halfway through that continuation on the 4 hour. So to me, that tells me we have maybe a half a day's worth of continuation of the upside, or potentially a pullback initially and then another leg up. But we need some consolidation at this area in order to leg up again. If we do consolidate here at this level of 36.5 and we open tomorrow's trading day positively, we should expect XRP to continue higher. Just bear this in mind. When coins like this are doing well, right? And you don't see very many coins doing as well as XRP and Terra Classic. Again, I cover these coins based on a lot of requests that I've been getting. But when you look at these coins, they're tremendously better than the regular market, because a lot of these other coins are aligned with Bitcoin. See, we see a very similar behavior with other coins. But when you take a look at Terra Classic, for example, and or XRP, you're looking at a situation where these coins are doing well contrary to these others. So don't be surprised if this coin here, XRP, struggles when the market recovers. Again, it's just one of those interesting things. What goes up must come down, and a lot of times the liquidity from these coins will go directly into Bitcoin once the profits have been taken. Okay, that's essentially how it works. So just don't be surprised that occurs. Between now and then, I would say we have mostly positive signs from XRP. I'm not recommending you open a long or a short position at this point, but if you have a long open, leave it open. If you're going to short, a tight profit targets would be ideal, because it could very well continue running. We just got to get above these levels here, because again, as you can see, these resistance levels based on simple moving averages are going to hold fairly strong in between 36.5 and 39 cents. So that range right there is going to be very difficult to get through. But again, the market recovers. I think we'll see XRP continue. Just bear in mind, if it recovers quickly, XRP might stall out for a little bit before it takes off again. All right. So that's kind of where we're at there. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hopefully you learned something here today. If you did, comment below, let me know. If you want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link down below. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one.